Vicki here with Pastor Carl for this Monday's Discover Verb, coming to you special because it's State Fair Week here in Minnesota, so this one is on a stick for you. All right, Pastor Carl, we're in part 2 of the story of Esther. Esther has taken that step of faith. She has showed courage. And you brought up Romans 8 yesterday in your sermon of how God blesses those and it works out for our good. Can you just unpack that a little bit for us? What does that look like for our life right here and now?
Well, one of the things I pointed out is Esther didn't know all of God's plan. He didn't know how God was working with King Xerxes. She didn't know how God was working with King Xerxes while she had to prepare to step out, in faith. And that's for all of us. We don't know. But this is the thing we can be confident of. When we do that faith thing, when we follow God's plan, when we take action on God's plan, when we trust God's plan, we know the promise that all things work together for good for those who love God and are called to go according to His purpose. That's trusting God's plan, and that's, as I talked about, God's plan. We don't know the details, but we know pretty generally what it is.
We're on that need-to-know basis.
That's right.
This is what you need to know today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's, love your neighbor and share the gospel. Go into all the world and preach the gospel. Oh, and wash one another's feet. In other words, serve one another. So we have a general understanding, and to step out each day and say, that's what I'm going to do, God. I want to do your will. That's faith, and you can know of God's promise.
And there's also in Scripture we read how God blesses those who serve and takes care of us. So how do we know when we're being blessed by God? By blessing others.
Yeah, well, and I think the first thing to start with is sometimes we'll get a blessing, and we look at life circumstances and we say, hey, he's rich, he's healthy, he's got a beautiful wife, or she's rich and healthy and got a beautiful husband, whatever it is, they must be blessed by God. Well, not necessarily. God's blessings take all forms. And here's the thing, God's blessings are never to just make us comfortable, like I said in the sermon. It's so that we can bless and serve others. And when we do bless and serve others, then that blessing comes back to us. Maybe not in a bigger paycheck or a fancier car or,
that dream house with the pool.
Yeah, the dream house with the pool or on the beach. But it comes back with that feeling of a job well done, the appreciation of someone that you've helped, just knowing you've made the world a better place. Just being able to kind of get out of yourself and serve others. And that builds who you are spiritually and internally. And those are all amazing blessings. And even those blessings that come back to you, what are they for? They're to help you better serve others.
Yeah, and I appreciate what Esther teaches us about bravery, is that she took a step out of her own comfortability, her own comfort circle, in a way that would bless the whole community of people. She gave up a little bit of personal liberties to take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lesson that we all can learn in our world today.
Yeah.
Is to step out, maybe give up just a little bit of your own comfort to take care of everybody and to show love in your actions.
Yeah, and in other words, it wasn't just stepping out of her comfort zone. She was risking her life, at least from her perspective.
Right. She saw what happened to Queen Vashti.
Yeah. And this judgment was even worse. So she felt like she was.
Right.
And, sometimes it's a little scary maybe to do something. Sometimes it's a little scary to share your faith or to invite someone to church. But you never know how that person might respond. And 6 months from now, they might
Right.
thank you for inviting them to church. They might thank you for just being a good neighbor, whatever.
Yeah, because it's not up to us to change someone's heart. That's
Right.
what God does. We're just told to share our own story.
Exactly.
And that's it. So that's what we have for you today is maybe just step out of that comfort zone and just share this week why you love Jesus. It might be scary and sure you might be nervous, but just take that one step, share why you love Jesus, and just see what God does with that and what God continues to do. So you have a great week. Enjoy this Discover Verb on a Stick brought specially to you by the Minnesota State Fair, and we'll see you on Wednesday.